So now that Skyler has kind of joined with Walt in the family business, so to speak, is a big challenge for this season, kind of keeping it a secret from Walt Jr. and obviously Hank and Marie and anyone else.
Yeah, I think again in season 3, that's what it was interesting, that she's only really had one person that she could ever tell any of this to, which was her divorce lawyer, who served as her confessor, I think, in some ways. And but again, when the divorce lawyer said, you need to go to the police and you need to do this, Skyler chose family over. She chose family, and she chose Walt. And when she made that decision, it's absolutely a challenge in that Walt Jr. still isn't real happy with her and thinks it's her fault that she broke up with his dad, and why would she do any of this? And her sister is wondering, also the same thing. But I think again with Skyler's just pragmatism, essentially, she says, okay, this is what needs to be done. And I think it speaks to the strength in her character, that she knows she's in an awful position, but she's not going to pity herself. She's not going to cry about it. She's gonna do what needs to be done. And I think she's really willing to accept the sacrifice of her son being mad at her or people being confused about her behavior. And again, when Hank is hurt and they need help, it's the perfect for her. There's no question that if they have these resources, at least they can do something good with them, which is helping them pay their bills. And so I think there's certainly a lot of justification that goes on in her head, just as Walt has his own justification for the things and the choices he's made. But I think it's kind of, for her, it's built into her that if her family needs help and if this is the way it's going to be, she's going to make it work.
Yeah. And I get the sense there was a moment last season too where Ted presented her with some kind of shaky accounting, and she at least recognized that for what it was. I have a sense that she might turn out to be pretty good at this aspect of the enterprise.
Yeah, I mean, I think that she's really had to come up against certain moral decisions and choices in terms of which path she was going to choose. And she had to decide not only what was right and wrong, I think in a larger sense, but what's right and wrong for her right here and now, and what her family needs. And it's interesting that they created that dilemma with Ted as well, in terms of her having to choose not to get him in trouble, not to turn him in, and knowing that she is also culpable in some ways with what she's done with him.
Yeah.
And it's as those choices are made, I think that's where the Breaking Bad goes on with her. And I think, again, the challenge with Vince and the writers is they've taken everyman Walt, they've taken this real middle-of-the-road nice guy and uncovered these parts of his personality that he probably never even knew were there. And then he has to, and then when his wife finds out, then the writers have to create some plausible explanation for why she would go along in this, in this whole thing. And I think they've done a great job with it.